a 2017 Mercedes-Benz E300. This is the mid-size sedan offering from Mercedes-Benz. And today I'm going to give you an overview of the exterior and the interior, and then I'm going to take it for a drive. First off, I'm going to go over the dimensions of the vehicle. This car is 193.8 inches long with a wheelbase of 115.7 inches. It is also a fairly wide car, but not as wide as some other rivals, and it is 72.9 inches wide. This car is also equipped with Mercedes-Benz multi-beam LED headlights, which I think is a very nice design, and they have some other cool features that I'll show you later. Now check out this little dance that the headlights do when you start it at night. I think that's cool. This vehicle is also equipped with LED taillights, which have a very interesting crystalline pattern here, which helps to reflect and diffuse the light in a way that is a more gentle appearing light than just standard LED taillights. I think it's a very nice touch. This car has excellent exterior build quality. While some panel gaps are larger than others, take a look here at the hood. I think that all of the panel gaps are fairly symmetrical from side to side, and this demonstrates that this is a higher quality vehicle than some others here. Take a look. Again, larger gap around the trunk, but that's typical. Everything with the fenders connecting to the bumper, larger gap around the doors, but again, everything else very tidy, very professional. Mercedes-Benz has done a great job here. This car is equipped with the optional AMG rims, which are 19-inch by 8-inch, and they are equipped with 245/40 all-season tires. This car has a power tailgate, and inside the trunk you find only 13.1 cubic feet of volume. That's less than its principal rivals, the Audi A6 and the BMW 5 Series. We also get some interesting goodies here. Most especially the Mercedes-Benz interior perfume set. It comes with 4 different scents: nightlife mood, sports mood, downtown mood, and Pacific mood. I think that's pretty interesting. As well as these, with the included first aid kit, these high visibility vests in their own little Mercedes-Benz branded pouches. I think that's really cool. Something important to know is that this car is equipped with run-flat tires from the factory, so this means it does not carry a spare. Take a look under here. All we have is a tow hook and this interesting little luggage crate here. It's pretty cool, but I have to say that's not quite as handy as having a spare tire. The E300 is the smallest engine available for the E-Class right now. There are other V6 and V8 powertrains available, but take a look here. We have a 2-liter inline 4-cylinder turbocharged, and this is a 16-valve unit with variable valve timing. It's good for 241 horsepower at 5,500 RPM and 273 pound-feet of torque. All of this is mated to Mercedes' 9-speed automatic transmission. Mercedes claims this will do 0 to 60 in 6.2 seconds, and the EPA rates it at 22 miles per gallon in the city, 29 on the highway, for a combined of 24. All right, now let's step inside the E-Class. I'm going to start it up and show you some of my favorite features. The interior of this car has some very nice materials and features, and I think this helps to distinguish it as the most luxurious vehicle in its class. A very important feature on any car, of course, is the seats, and Mercedes-Benz certainly has not cheaped out in this department. They're some of the most comfortable seats I have ever sat in, other than perhaps Mercedes' own S-Class, and they are packed with some excellent features that ensure long-term comfort when you're driving the car. Very adjustable, of course. We have the seat bottom, forward, back, up and down, in the front and the back. Also, we have a little extension at the bottom of the cushion here. The back portion of the seat, of course, goes forward and back. And look at this, even the headrest goes up and down. automatically. That's pretty cool. But that's not all. These seats also come equipped with heating and cooling, so you can turn on the seat heater, 3 stages, as well as the ventilation. So if you want totally cool ventilation, you just leave this on, but if you want stay ventilated but also have the heated seats, of course, you can have that available to you as well. It doesn't stop there, it gets even better. These seats also have some more functions that you can't control over here that you have to do in the infotainment system. First of all, so we'll select driver's seat. We've got a massage function. Look at that. There are many different massage programs you can choose from. My personal favorite is the wave massage. I'll go ahead and select that. So what this does, it's not a very intense massage, I'll be honest, but it has little air pockets that fill and empty themselves of air all up and down the seat. I think it's very relaxing. I think it could be very nice on a long drive. That's not all. We still have more. Other features of the seat, very exciting, is the dynamic seat. So the side bolsters here, you can adjust them so they will automatically kind of squeeze up against you as you go around a corner. And I've noticed in my own testing that this is not entirely based on the position of the steering wheel. As you turn the wheel, it squeezes you. It actually is measuring the acceleration force on the car as you go sideways. So it will go ahead and squeeze you tighter on whichever side is appropriate for how you're turning. That's really cool as well. And then something not quite as nice that I didn't like as much, the lumbar support is only adjustable through the infotainment system. There is no button for that elsewhere, as well as you can adjust the position of the standard position of the side bolsters as well. Another interesting feature about these seats is you have this R button here on the driver's side. If you select it, you are now controlling the passenger seat. So take a look at this. If I want, I can move the passenger seat forward and back. Look at that. I can move the headrest, everything. Even I can adjust the heating and cooling of the passenger seat. Look at that. This feature came from the S-Class because it is designed to be used by chauffeurs so they can move this passenger seat forward if they're carrying somebody in the back. I don't really see the place for this feature on the S-Class, on the E-Class, sorry, except to harass your passenger, but I thought it was pretty fun. Something that I always think is very cool about Mercedes-Benz is they have these obviously very nice sun visors, but you can go ahead, flip this one out, and you've got another one for the front. So you can keep your front protected and your side, and look at this, full coverage. That's really cool. So this car also has, as expected from any modern luxury car, a very advanced infotainment system with many features that allow you to control different aspects of the vehicle, as well as navigation system, which I think looks pretty nice. Something that is a little bit annoying, here we have this place. You can rest your hand here and use the knob to adjust things on the screen, but also this area where you rest your hand doubles as a trackpad. You can also swipe around on here and you can push these buttons. But look at these buttons. Back, home, same buttons right here, back and home. And look at this, we got them as well on the steering wheel, as well as these little trackpads here. So it can't, look, I'm still doing the same thing. I'm adjusting how zoomed out we are on the navigation. So these features, while very cool, allows you to choose whichever one you like the best. I think it's a little weird that we have multiple different ways to do the same thing in different menus. We also have a nice display up here. I like that we still have analog gauges on this car. A lot of competitors are moving to a fully digital display, which personally I like the look of the analog gauges, but we still have some features in the middle here. So using the trackpad on the left side of the steering wheel, we can see various trip information, and then of course we have different things we can show here. So this car is not equipped with Mercedes Distronic, which is their most advanced driver assistance package, but it still has some features in here. We can also look at the navigation in here. If we were to have a route programmed into the navigation, you could see on here what's going on, as well as radio, media, of course, and then, yeah, anything you need. This car is also equipped with Apple CarPlay, so if you go to the main menu here, you can select Mercedes Connect and Apple CarPlay right there. Another very cool feature of this car is the interior mood lighting, which kind of extends throughout the entire car, and you can go ahead and change the color. Check it out. That's pretty neat. The whole center console area of this vehicle is very nice. The climate control vents, all these buttons here. We've got a nice timepiece, gloss black finish, and we have all these controls down here. We have the selector wheel, we have this trackpad thing. This is the dynamic select, we'll talk about that later. Parking cameras, parking assist off, auto start stop, volume adjustment, obviously. This turns off the screen, and this is also a cool feature. We'll talk about that later as well. Then in here we have a couple of cup holders. This USB port, this is the one you use for Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. There are other USB ports in the car, but this is the one that works for that. And also we have a wireless charging tray here. If you put your phone in there, it will charge while you're driving. Now check this out. This is something interesting. You put a phone in here. Look at that. It pulls up Apple Pay. So whatever radio frequencies are going on with the NFC wireless charging are interfering with similar frequencies to Apple Pay. I think that's a very, very strange. It still charges your phone. That's just weird. Another unique feature of this car, in the glove box here, we have very nice user manual and such, but look at this. We have the Mercedes-Benz fragrance system. So what do we have in here now? We have Freeside Mood. Very interesting. You have this removable capsule which contains perfume, which can be, you can have it come out through the climate control vents. Personally, I don't really like it, but if you're really into air fresheners, you got some very fancy choices. This car is equipped with the optional Burmester audio system. I think it sounds great. This is not, there's also a high-end Burmester audio upgrade that's $4,800. Unless you're a really serious audiophile, I don't think you need to go for that. This is pretty good. I really like the nice design in the metal there, and I think if you were to go for the Burmester high-end audio, it's about as nice an audio system you can get in any car, with the exception of Bentley. So now I've stepped into the back of the vehicle here. I left the front seat in the exact same position that I had it in when I was driving. I am 6'1". Here I am sitting in the back seat. I'm not touching my knees at all. I mean, it's not a tremendous amount of legroom, but it's perfectly suitable to sit 4 tall adults, and not so much 5. In the middle here, we have a very large bump for the transmission tunnel here, so there's not too. I mean, you kind of have to straddle it. I don't know what you're gonna do. A feature that this car does not have, but other E-classes do, is separate controls here for the rear climate control. This one does not have it. We've got in here just an ashtray, cigarette lighter, 12-volt output. Also, the center console here. Some very nifty cup holders that pop out like so. Pretty cool. And little storage area in here. Now, again, one of those buttons I was talking about up here. Let's check this out. So, if you push on here this button on the bottom right, look at this. You are going to activate the rear automatic sunshade, which looks like this. Check that out. That's pretty cool. Now, if that doesn't say I have a luxury car, I don't know what else does. We also have in the center console here a little storage area. It's not too big. We've got 2 USB ports in here and an SD card slot, for memory. Now, something that's pretty cool about this car, it has a dual panoramic sunroof, moonroof, which when you open it, look at that. Both open at the same time. That's really cool. And close. Look at that. Well, let's talk about quality. Listen to that, that's really solid. Okay, so general quality of materials in this car is very high. This car is equipped with actual leather seats as opposed to the MB-Tex. MB-Tex is very nice, but this is what you need to get. Very soft leather throughout on the door panels, on the seats. We do not have leather up on the dashboard. You're going to have to step up to one of the higher trim models to get something like that, or the Designo interior, which is a $4,000+ option. But if you like leather, that's what you got to do to get the full leather interior. This car also has my personal favorite Mercedes-Benz wood. This is the dark open pore ash wood, which feels really nice to the touch and looks really good. Something I'm not as hot about, this shiny black surface here feels a little bit, obviously it's nice plastic, but it feels like a little bit like plastic. Opening and closing this, very solid. Of course, steering wheel, very solid. All of these knobs and buttons make very nice click and very nice feedback, and they feel very strong in your hand. They have some knurling on the knobs. I always like that. That's really cool. Also, all of these buttons here have a very premium feel to them. You're not going to find anything like this on the economy car. This is really nice stuff. The buttons on the steering wheel, also very solid, as well as, of course, the seat adjustments are very nice. Probably the button you're going to touch the most, though, window controls. And oh my god, until you've felt these, I don't know what you're doing with your life. These are so nice. Driving the Mercedes-Benz E300. I'm out on a little bit curvier road here, see how it handles. The steering feel is very light. This is a luxury car, but I think that the steering is very precise, and I can definitely feel what's going on underneath me in terms of the road, but not in an obtrusive way. It's still appropriate for a luxury car. So as we come up to some corners here, I'm going to go ahead and on the dynamic select, and I'm going to get out of comfort mode here. Let's try sport. All right, there we go. Immediately notice a downshift and heavier steering. That's about it. That's all the sport mode does. But let's give it a go here and go around this corner. Got the active bolstering. Very precise steering. I don't have to input very much. Also, it's riding very well. This is not a terribly well paved road, but it seems to be riding very well over all this stuff. I also have paddle shifters, so I can choose to use those if I like. But I find that the Mercedes algorithm, they've got it figured out. I mean, it knows what gear to be in, and it's even more aggressive than this in Sport Plus mode than it is in Sport. Yeah, I mean, this car isn't all that fast, but it's very well balanced, and even as you go over bumps and corners, it handles its weight very well. It's a heavy car, but I think that the driving experience is very nice. I think that this is a great luxury car, and it handles okay, good enough. All right, I'm taking the E300 out onto the freeway now. See how it handles at highway speeds here. Merging on now. Alright. So up at these higher speeds, definitely wind noise is not an issue. Obviously, depending on the pavement here, yeah, you are going to experience some tire noise, but wind noise is almost non-existent. This car is very well insulated, and it's pretty aerodynamic as well, so it's pretty quiet in here. The ride is very smooth. We're going over some small bumps here. I feel nothing. I think it's a very nice, quiet place to be. I think that for somebody who's looking for a luxury car in this at this price point, I think it would be hard to go wrong with the E-Class, and you should definitely give it a look.